I just recorded a video for 8 minutes without my microphone on. Hi, everybody. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And first of all, I love you. Second of all, you may be thinking to yourself, Heather, wow, you got really fat. And the answer to that is you are correct. Yes, because I had a baby and he is now 1 year old. He's amazing. A lot has happened this year, which is why I have not uploaded. I lost both my grandparents. So in July of last year, right after that last video, like a week or two maybe, we lost my grandmother. And then about 4.5 months later, we lost my grandfather. So that was very devastating to our family. And it's been mostly my dad and aunts that I've been dealing with, with all that. And then April of this year, so just a few months later, we lost our pastor. I go to a very small, stereotypical country church. And by stereotypical, I mean fields of wheat on all sides, big white steeple, bell rings every Sunday for service, max attendance in over 100 years has been 121 people. I was there for that. It was a rainy day when I was a teenager and we were packed to the brim. I mean, at the end, every pew was full. The basement was full. People were just packed in like sardines. It was amazing. But anyway, that church has been around since 1912, I believe, or 1911. And our pastor has been there for 30 years, has been preaching there for 30 years, and he was a huge part of the community. It was such a devastating loss, and surprising too. It was not expected. He's a fairly young guy, 50s. It's been a bad year. I know I had planned on doing a review of The Hunt for Red October and then comparing it to the movie, and I just spent 8 minutes doing that, and so now here it is again. I really liked the book. There were some info dumps that I felt unnecessary, the kind that were like, could have been contained in 1 or 2 sentences, but were entire paragraphs long and just going into details that I did not care about. And it's the kind of details that the author clearly knows what they're talking about. It's information that they personally know, whether from experience or whatever, but I just didn't care. I didn't care about it. Just give me the important stuff that moves the story along and dump the rest. Anyway, I pushed through all that and it was worth it because, spoiler alert, this book has been out for 40 some years. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's been 40 years. Almost 40 years. So if you want to read it and you don't want spoilers, move on to the next chapter. It was worth it because at the end, Tom Clancy has this amazing gift to take something that sounds pretty boring if you don't know anything about it, like submarine warfare, and make it super exciting. And it's not, there weren't a ton of like bombs thrown at each other and crashes and stuff, which there was some of that, but it was mostly like thrilling, like edge of your seat, like what's going to happen next. They have to stay quiet, otherwise the other submarine sonar is going to pick them up and this and that and the other. And it was really incredible the way he made that exciting. Something I haven't really experienced in reading before, honestly. So that was well worth the read. So if you're into espionage and all that kind of stuff, definitely give that a read if you haven't already. It's been out forever. So compared to the movie, it was actually a really good adaptation in my humble opinion. There were some minor detail changes, like if I remember correctly, in the book at the beginning, Jack Ryan was on a quest to find his daughter a Malibu Stacy Barbie or something for Christmas. And at the end of the book, another spoiler alert, he finds it, obviously brings it home. But in the movie, I think it was a teddy bear. So like minor detail, who cares? The other big thing that I remember after all this time is that there was a scene at the end of the book during the exciting warfare part that I was really excited to watch play out on the screen to see how they did that. And they cut it. And I can't remember exactly which one it was. I think they just cut the entire like those characters and the entire submarine and that whole part of the battle. And that was kind of disappointing to me, but it was still worth watching, honestly. There were great actors in that movie, so it definitely made it worth it. Okay, on to book number 2, because I did actually read a book recently. I got through it. It was a very quick read, and that would be 13 Reasons Why. I was given the book as part of someone was giving their books away, and so that's what I got. I would not have normally picked up this book on my own, but because I got it for free, I was like, it looks like a quick read. I might as well just give it a chance. But I hadn't seen the show, but I had seen stuff about the show. And so I was like, when I picked up the book, I was cringing and just like, let's just get through this. It's going to be a fast read, big print, small book, let's just get through it. Just to say I read it. I was pleasantly surprised by the book, honestly. The writing was actually really well done. I would probably not let any of my kids read that book under the age of 16. I would think about it at the age of 16. 17 and above, fine. It's pretty depressing and sad. If you don't know, it's a popular story. So if you don't know what it is, let me see if I can find a synopsis here. Hang on. Okay, I am reading this off the Wikipedia page. I will link that down below. 13 Reasons Why is a young adult novel written by Jay Asher in 2007 that follows the story of Hannah Baker, a high school freshman, and the 13 reasons why she killed herself. Following her death, let me move this over here. Following her death, Hannah leaves behind a series of 7 double-sided cassette tapes detailing the 13 specific people and events that she blames for her demise. 2 weeks after her death, these cassette tapes are mailed out with directions to pass the tapes on to the next person on the tape. Hannah's life story is conveyed through these tapes, which are narrated by Hannah herself, and through the point of view of Clay, her classmate, and the 9th person to receive the tapes. The inspiration behind the main character, Hannah Baker, comes from author Jay Asher's close relative who attempted suicide. So, dark stuff. It's a young adult novel, so it's got quick pacing, very to the point, keeps your attention if you've got a short attention span, which, what is a short attention span these days with TikTok and YouTube shorts? But I began this book expecting to hate it because I hated the trailers for the TV show. They just annoyed me, and it was this huge popular thing, right? I hate jumping on the bandwagon of something popular if it's not that good. And I didn't think 13 Reasons Why was worth the popularity, at least the show. And so that's the mentality I had opening this book. By the end, I actually had thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very sad, but the ending kind of lifts your spirit a little bit. It's a little bit of a rough read. I enjoy the darker stories, and I write some very dark stuff. So for me to say it was a little bit of a rough read for you, maybe unbearable or like a really rough read. So take that with a grain of salt. But if you like a quick read and you like the darker stuff, this might actually be the book for you. I am not going to compare it to the show. I'm not going to watch that show. I don't care about it. I hear they're making a 2nd or 3rd season or something. I don't know how many seasons there are. And from people who I've talked to some people on Twitter who have read the book and watched the TV show. They said the show isn't worth watching. They insert some narratives and push some agendas that are not in the book, have nothing to do with the story. And they don't know why there's a new season because the first season addressed everything that was in the book. So I'm not going to bother with the show. If you have seen the show and or read the book, one or the other, please leave me a comment down below and tell me what you thought of the book and or the show, and if you've compared the two, what you thought about it, because I've just heard one person talk about it. So if you have a different opinion or the same opinion or something to add to the conversation, definitely let me know. I would love to talk to you about it. That being said, I have been trying to get through this John Green novel, Paper Towns, for well over a year. Well over a year. I started it when my son was born, after we got home from the hospital, and I have gotten to precisely page 113 out of 305. I hate this book. I am going to try to finish it, but I hate the writing, I hate the story, I hate the characters, I hate everything about it. I cannot stand this book. It says, this is another free one I got from the same person. It says, soon to be a major motion picture. This may be one of those cases where the movie is better than the book. And I hope that's the case. I'm not going to bother finding out because I can't even get halfway through the book in a year and a half. But I'm going to make it my personal goal to finish this book in, let's say, 2 weeks, so that I can come back and tell everybody about it. I mean, it's not like it's a hard read. It's a young adult novel. It's simple reading. It's a fast pace. It's decently, that's my great grandmother. Decently sized print. I mean, it's not like it's, it's not a difficult book to read in the sense that there's an overabundance of words, or it's small print, or it's a large book. It's just bad. I'll go into more detail once I finish it, but if you have read this, watch for the next Readcast video and we can discuss it then. If you want to read it and discuss it, you have 2 weeks. I will attempt to upload a new video in 2 weeks when I finish it, and we can discuss it in the comments there. So that all being said, thank you so much for watching. If you aren't aware, I'll leave a link below, but I do have I've designed lined notebooks, soft cover, on my Amazon page. And here are some patriotic ones with 4th of July coming up and Memorial Day behind us that I actually really love these. There's stuff on the back too, but there are a ton of designs. So if you're not, the patriotic type, or you don't really care, there are a ton of others as well. But I figured with 4th of July coming up, maybe some people out there would like these, or know somebody that would like them and would like a gift. I have, I'll leave that link down below. And if you haven't already, check out the website. There's not a whole lot special going on there, but I'm kind of proud of it. So, if you want to check it out, go for it. If not a big deal. And there are links to other things below. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I think that's it. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos. So thank you so much for showing up. Make sure to hit the like button. Comment down below if you have something to say about The Hunt for Red October or 13 Reasons Why. And I will try to next week upload a Writecast video about my writing, because I have been less than a snail's pace, slowly making progress on that. So look for that. And I guess until next time, happy reading. Bye.